Welcome, everyone, to another episode of My World with Stories. I'm Brooke, keeping you company. And today we have a really special guest. Today we have a Broadway World nominee, a National Youth Theater Award winner, the one, the only Kayla Moore, also known as Sharpay from TikTok.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. It's so funny hearing these the polls, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Wow.
welcome. Can you
Thank
kind of
you.
like give everyone like a little bit of who you are, where you're from, and like how you kind of like got started into like this crazy world of theater?
Absolutely. So, hello everyone. My name is Kayla Moore. I'm from right here in New York, born and raised New Yorker. I'm actually from Westchester, and I grew up doing theater. I have an older sister who loved theater, so naturally, as the younger sibling, I have to follow her to do anything that she did. So, she started doing theater. I had to start doing theater, and I also fell in love with it like she did. I continued to do theater all through elementary school, middle school, high school. We did a little children's theater program outside of our school that was like an after school program. And then I auditioned for colleges, and I was having a lot of trouble getting into these schools. It is really hard to get in for musical theater. I tried my senior year of high school, and then I tried again a second time my freshman year of college to transfer. And both times, very challenging. Could not get into a program that aligned. So I ended up going to school for the business of motion pictures at the University of Miami while still getting to perform in their theater program. It was really fun. But then I kind of went down a path of I'm going to work in the film and TV industry. I did that for a few years. I worked in Beverly Hills at, a production office and at a management company, and eventually found myself in agencies. I thought I was going to do that. And then eventually, life kind of kicked me in the keister and said, actually, you don't want to do this.
Mhm.
So after leaving a company, I decided I needed to kind of find happiness again. So I ended up looking to community theater, and I went back to a theater that I did a lot of performances at growing up. And it was still the same creative team, and I got to work with my childhood choreographer and musical director and director. Like these people that basically raised me when they were in their 20s, raising these, 10, 15-year-old kiddos. And now, we're all adults and all still enjoying the love of this. And that was when I did Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and I played a stepsister. And if you Google Stepsister's Lament on YouTube, I bet my video will be right at the top there. I loved playing. I played Grace in the enchanted licensed version of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. And then from there, I did a production of High School Musical where I played Sharpay, and that was at the same theater. That's kind of where social media really started taking off. And I started posting quite a lot about my journey of auditioning, and that's probably if you knew my name before this, that's pretty friggin' awesome. And also, you probably found me from those videos if I had to take a guess. They've
Yeah.
got probably over like somewhere in the 100 million views range for those Sharpay videos at this point. It's kooky crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. That's not to be like creepy or anything, but but you popped up on like one of my reels and I was like I saw like your profile and I was like I have to have her on.
Thanks, man.
Like it was just so cool. Like
Thank you.
I love it. When you went to college at the University of Miami, I'm always curious, especially now, like being in college myself, like what was that experience like for you? Like, did you take away anything from that? Like, what did you like learn from it, I guess?
Totally. Yeah, I was shocked to realize that the thing that I learned the most in college was like the classes that you think are going to change your life are never the ones that change your life. I had this one class called Forensic Anthropology, and that class completely altered my worldview on the world. I found out that I had a real knack for identifying bones without sight, because that's something that you learn in forensic anthropology. And it kind of makes you realize how small we are and how, like, everybody has a different life. Someone's life is literally doing that every single day and traveling the world to do digs. And no matter what facet you're in, like, there's always an expert in every field, and people are obsessed in those fields. So it kind of made me take a step back and realize, like, Broadway and the theater industry is such a niche love.
Mhm.
Like, you'd be shocked how many people don't actually know anything about this industry.
Yeah.
But we get so like caught up in it
Hmm.
that sometimes you need stuff like that to kind of reset you. So
Hmm.
I think college is such a beautiful experience, and I think people should actually go out of their way to take classes that they didn't think that they were going to want to take. That's actually why I kind of enjoy gen eds and requirements like that. It
Hmm.
sounds like an annoyance, but I promise you in the long run, it'll be the best thing for you as a person, and
Hmm.
then there so for your career, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is so so true.
Yeah.
Like college is like it's so different than high school, I feel like because you're with like your people, you're taking classes that you never got to take in high school because like they always have like the requirements they have to take this and that. So I totally agree.
Yeah, I love the autonomy that you finally get to have in college.
Was there like a moment that like you realized that, oh, I'm actually good at theater and like I should pursue this?
That's a really great question, honestly. Like, I don't think I ever had a self-realization. I think it was just other people kind of validating it, which is not a great place to start.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to come from inside.
Hmm.
But yeah, growing up when I was a child actor, it really came from a casting team, or, I had a manager when I was a kid. Like it came from external sources growing up.
Hmm.
And now today, it's when you do something that shocks the heck out of yourself and you're like, did I really just do that? Like, dang, okay. Like I can self-celebrate now. But I
Hmm.
think as a kid, I only really knew what other people told me was good, you
Yeah.
know? It's kind of how it goes growing up.
College is over and now you're like in the real world. Like, what happens next? Like, what happened like after college?
Great question. So I graduated December of 2019 and I
Hmm.
started working at Disney World. I worked at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Very fun. And I did that from January to March of 2020. And while I was in the Disney College program, I was interviewing for the NBC Page program. My intention was to go back to the film and TV industry and continue to build up my reputation, but I think I wanted to go back to New York. So I was interviewing for New York. And then COVID hit, so it was a lot of time to just kind of reset and readjust. I worked at a restaurant, I managed a restaurant, I worked at a nursery school, like every odd job, just you
Yeah.
name it. Gosh, party princess, a whole bunch from like a distance,
Mhm.
which was bizarre. But then I initially went back to Los Angeles and continued to work in the film and TV industry, and I could have sworn that that was going to be my whole life. But looking back on it now, I think it was just kind of trying to give myself another dream because the one I really wanted felt too out of reach.
Right.
But, you know,
Yeah.
life will throw you a lot of tests and you need
Hmm.
to decide if you're going to listen. So, I'm really glad that I got tested the way I did,
Yeah.
enough to literally like kick me out the door and be like, hey, stop, like projecting on other things, pretending like that's your dream. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's okay to have this dream. I
Mm.
think I felt like I wasn't allowed to because I was no longer validated by like a college degree. I didn't have the BFA from Michigan, so I was like, well, can't have that dream anymore. So, moving
One,
on.
yeah. There's been so many people on this podcast that don't go to school for theater and like they have like so much success and stuff. Like I always try to like because like people say it to me because I'm a communications major. They're like, why aren't you doing what you like love? And I'm like, well, this is my second love. Like I already know how to do that. Like this is 10 times different.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And no audition is going to require you to have something on your resume. Like, sure, it helps them put a boilerplate on you, but like, it's not a requirement. It's not. And I think it used to be a lot stricter than it is now. I promise you that. Like, yeah, yeah, it's a lot better now where I know a bunch of people who actually didn't even go to college. They just right out of high school said, I think I'm going to try auditioning for a few years because there's a huge demand for 18 plus to look younger.
mhm.
I'm going to just see what happens. And a lot of them have found some really beautiful success.
Yeah.
So, There's so many different avenues, especially with the arts, but there are some moments where I do think if I had the experience at a collegiate level that I wouldn't have some of the fears that I have in the room.
Hmm.
I think there's like ego wise. When
Hmm.
I go into a class now, I just started taking a class at Juilliard. And my first week, I almost cried when the teacher was like giving me all these different,
Hmm.
all this feedback. And I
Hmm.
was just like, oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm a horrible performer. I'm not doing things correctly. I'm not doing what he's asking.
Hmm.
No, this is a class. You're in a class to learn. Did you want him to just say, oh, amazing, you're so great? No. Why the heck would you pay for that?
Hmm.
No. I think if I went to college and that was, 4 years of training and that kind of discipline of having somebody critique you all the time, I'd be a lot stronger.
Hmm.
But now I'm working on like kind of grinding those gears because you gotta get real good with being critiqued on something that's really vulnerable.
Hmm. So you've done a lot of like work like professionally. You've performed at Green Room 42. You actually have done some Broadway and off Broadway and regional work, the Office musical, Legally Blonde, and of course, High School Musical. So finding jobs in this industry is like so hard because like they're always looking for like that one person. Like how do you navigate that? Like what's your audition like process, I guess, like?
Totally. I'd say it's 50-50 jobs that I've gotten because a friend recommended me, and
Mhm.
50% jobs I've gotten because I killed it in the audition room. It's a crapshoot.
Mhm.
And if I used to track how many auditions I would do every year, I
Oh.
stopped doing that. That got exhausting.
Mhm.
But it's really like the spaghetti at the wall, that metaphor? Just throw
Mhm.
enough spaghetti at the wall, something will stick.
Yeah.
Um, like it's basically just that.
Mhm.
And so Legally Blonde and Into the Woods, that
Mhm.
summer stock, I got that because of somebody I met in High School Musical who had worked at that theater before. And
Mhm.
yes, I still had to go through the audition process, but because I had somebody kind of vouching for me,
Mhm.
that's what a lot of this industry is.
Yeah.
But like Grease, I did Grease last year at MGM Beau Rivage, 100% just because I gave them my most authentic self in the room. I was having a really good mental health day. Don't know where that came from. It was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Some days you just go into an audition and you're like, I'm going to kill this. And it's a really great feeling.
Yeah.
And I did the callback, and during the callback, I did this funny little improv, and the director was like, "You're cast," like on the spot. He was like, "I love this."
Nice.
So you never know what's gonna happen. You never know. So just take chances and try to pump yourself up as much as possible.
Mhm.
The Office, that was another one where like I went in the room. Yes, I prepared all the material. It went so great. The casting team loved me. I think a huge part of it was that I was the exact same size as the girl who played it right before me. So they wouldn't have to alter any of the costumes. They knew exactly how it was going to look on stage. They were like, thank God. Like, not only is she prepared, but she looks just like the one that just left. You
Yes.
don't know what's at play for you, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
You never know who you're competing against because, oh, the other thing, like High School Musical, I
Mhm.
just worked at that theater. That's my childhood theater. I know everybody personally, but the girl who used to play Angela before me at the office also auditioned for Sharpay.
Wow.
But it was like, I got the part because I know the whole team.
Wow.
It's not always about the talent, so much about networking and getting to know these people. So the more people you can work with in the industry, the better. I go to the Cara Rose DePietro School of Just Say Yes. If you
Yes.
have the ability to say yes, just say yes. I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
Meet as many people as you can.
Mhm. That's all like my professors, especially last semester, that's all they talked about. Cause like we all have to apply for internships. They're like, just say yes, just do it, you know? So I'm like really glad that you brought that up because like that needs to be heard more.
Yeah, yeah. I think once you hit corporate America and you're an intern, they're like, oh, they're so green. It just means you're excited to be there. Like, I think at its core, it means that you're money hungry. I think it's just like, you've got the money symbols in your eyes, I think is what the soul comes from. But
Yes.
really, what it means is you're so brand new and you're so excited to be a part of anything.
Yeah.
Like somebody who's excited to get coffee for a celebrity, and they're like, yeah. you're new here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's
Yeah.
an exciting time, and I think people need to lean into it more. Be excited about the beginning steps because those people will remember you. I promise you that. The people that I worked with straight out of college when I was doing like 4 a.m. call days on TV sets,
Hmm.
let me tell you, they remember me. Like putting in that work and giving my heart and soul while I
Hmm.
had the energy and the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, give people everything you can, um, because eventually you'll be old and you won't want to, you can't wake up at 3 in the morning anymore to go to call time at 4. But you'll make it happen for the right projects. But yeah, do
Yeah.
all you can.
No, it's so weird because like I went to see someone perform a couple years ago and I hadn't seen them for a couple years. And then like one of my family members was like, "Do you think they're gonna remember you?" And they literally came over to me and gave me a hug. And then my dad was like, "Okay, they're paying attention." Like,
Yep. Yeah.
so
It's
yeah.
a very small industry. It is. I have met so many people because of social media. Like, the amount of people that come up to me now at auditions just to be like, hey, just wanted to say hi. God, it brings me so much joy. Like going from this anonymous little fly on the wall, feeling like, I have no one there to support me, to
Mhm.
knowing that there are people who like I've met through the intersphere of some sort. Like it brings me such a comfort, I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned High School Musical. So how did that all come about? And then we could get into like the whole Sharpay
Yeah.
TikTok blow up in a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. So I was doing Cinderella. That was November of 2022. They knew that they were going to be doing High School Musical in the spring. My director approached me from Cinderella and was like, are you available for High School Musical? And I was in final callbacks for Nemo in Orlando at Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
And
cool.
I was so sure that I was going to get it that I pretty much told him no. I was like, I can't do High School Musical. I'm gonna book Nemo. And then I booked a show called Swan Lake Rock Opera. And then
Mhm.
they ended up, it was like my first off Broadway credit. I was so excited. And then they wrote my role out. And I was like, okay, so no off Broadway credit. Got ghosted by Disney.
Mhm.
Hey, can I do High School Musical? And they had me come in for the dance call. And they had me
Mm.
belt a really belty song on the stage and then I think like a week or two later we got the email saying we've been offered the role of Sharpay Evans, and they offered to pay me to go pick up the New York performers from the train station, so they offered to pay me a travel stipend. So it was my first paid gig, but it was like, here's some gas money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a very fun time. I made so many wonderful friends. The guy who played Troy is now one of the standbys for Elder Price in the Book of Mormon on Broadway. Miles, who played Ryan, and I still work very closely together. I'm working on his new musical, and he's the reason that I work with Jean's Playhouse a lot. That's where I did Legally Blonde and Into the Woods. Um, God, I keep up with so many of the cast. Like, we still have a group chat. I saw somebody's birthday party was a few weeks ago. I saw a million of them there. Like, we're a very tight knit community theater troupe, but it's become regional. Like,
Mm.
they bring in equity actors, they pay all of their leads, like, monthly stipends. It's becoming big. It's becoming a bigger venue, and they really put their money where their mouth is. Like,
Mhm.
what they can't pay you in performance, like per actor, they'll
Mm.
make up for in set design, in professionalism, in costume design. Like, oh, that theater is also stunning. They just got a whole grant from I think it was the mayor. I forget who it was, but they just got a big grant and they got to redo that theater. So
Oh,
all the
nice.
seats are like fresh,
Mm.
fresh coat of paint. Ugh, she's a cutie.
You played Sharpay and you posted on TikTok, I believe, about it. You have 90K plus followers and over 90 million views. So, like, how did that whole process go? Like, what did you just decide? Oh, one day I'm gonna like post my video and like see what happens?
Yeah, I started posting like, oh God, you can scroll back and see these, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I started posting on TikTok fall of 2022. I was like going through auditions and just kind of going through the process of getting back into the industry. The quality, terrible. A lot of them are actually horizontal. Um, I just wanted to kind of just like play around on social media. At the time, TikTok was such a fun, like, environment to play around in, and it was anonymous because so many less professional companies were on TikTok at the time.
Hmm.
So it felt kind of like what a Finsta used to be.
Yeah.
It's just kind of free. So I really just started posting whatever on there. And I posted stuff from backstage at Cinderella, and I posted stuff backstage from High School Musical. And
Mm.
then the first thing that went like uber viral was I think it was opening night. My friend's mom was sitting in the audience and captured a video of me on my friend Jaden's shoulders for the finale of We Arrived Because We Stuck Together. And that video was the first Sharpay video to blow up. And
Mm.
then I started posting more and more videos of Sharpay, and I made the Scream reel, and I made Make the Cast Break. Like, I still remember editing those in my childhood bedroom on iMovie and then posting them on TikTok with a little caption. I was visiting my sister. She was performing at the Ogunquit in Maine. She was doing a production of Beautiful. And at that time, for some reason, that whole weekend I was visiting her, I had like a Cinderella video go viral, a Sharpay video go viral, a video from college when I was in my TV troupe. I made like an SNL spoof video, and every single day they were hitting like 500,000, 500,000, 500,000. And everyone in my family was like, what the hell is happening? Like, it felt like it was overnight in the
Mhm.
same week in May,
Yeah.
May of 2023. And then I went to summer stock, and one of the people in the cast, like as I was moving in, was like, "Just wanted to say I love your videos," and I was like this is real. This
Yeah.
is happening. Like, oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Like it's it's validation. Like it was just so cool to be like, oh my God, people are actually seeing the stuff that I spend a lot of time posting on these platforms, and they think I'm funny. Feels good.
No, I love how like in your bio it says Sharpay from TikTok. Like
Oh,
I just love that.
yeah, that's just so many people when they would come up to me, they'd go, "Are you that girl from TikTok? Are you that Sharpay girl from TikTok?" And I'm like, I'm gonna start owning that, so I'm gonna just put it in
I
my
love
bio.
that. I love that. But
Yeah, it literally happened at Sweet Green today. I was grabbing food while I was in line, and the girl at the counter was like, "I'm so sorry, are you that Sharpay girl from TikTok?" And I was like, "Still got it."
that's so funny,
Yeah, man.
but also like so cool.
So crazy, and to think I almost didn't play Sharpay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there like a show or like a role that you played that really like taught you something or that you keep with you now, like with every performance?
Oh, great question. I like that summer stock experience. I think Cinderella and Into the Woods was the most I'd ever been tested as a performer
Hmm.
because I've never experienced a character arc like that in like a sincere role.
Huh.
I usually play, the zany, wacky. Even Elle's got a lot of that, but Cinderella was so much like more grounded than I realized. And Act Two is obviously like a
Mhm.
sucker punch to the gut emotionally.
Yeah.
And it taught me about like taking care of yourself as an actor. So before me, Little Red, and Jack would go on stage for No One Is Alone, like carrying the baby and confronting the baker, we would all sit on the floor together and kind of like hold hands, and really like emotionally take a beat together. And it taught me so much about like your cast is your team,
Hmm.
and like you really are working as a giant machine together, and you can't do this alone. That's the beautiful thing about theater, like especially in a piece like Into the Woods. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And it really drove home like no matter what, even when you're doing this professionally, the right people will also understand that this is still a community, this is still a team.
Hmm.
Not to say that you're not going to encounter people who are just flying their own little dreams and doing their own little solo thing, but that was a really beautiful moment, and it brought me hope for like the future of professional performing, that people still want to do this. They still want to give this as literally as much as they can. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. No, totally. Like there's nothing like theater. Like when you either like if you're on the stage doing it or if you're in the audience, like you'll never get to witness that again.
No, but then there's things like L, and that taught me about the physical. And that taught me, oh my God, it taught me about TMJ in performers and like how you're gonna deal with that and vocal fatigue and physical fatigue. Like, how the hell do you perform a role like Elle Woods when you feel like crap? How do you push through a show when you're not feeling well? My opening week, I had a sinus infection. I was on like prednisone and amoxicillin, and everything hurt. And like learning how to manage voice, like leading a show when you wake up with no voice,
Mhm.
terrifying. But
Yeah.
that taught me everything I needed to know. Everything. Like steam, rest, food, liquids, what kind of drugs work, like pharmaceuticals,
Mhm.
work with your voice as opposed to against. Learning about the difference between like taking Advil and taking Tylenol, these really like nitty gritty things. You can
Yeah.
always just say like, I'm gonna have a Gruthers and I'll be fine. Like, no, there's about 30 million other steps that need to happen
Yeah.
8 hours before you're performing in order to get a good show when you're having a really tough day. And
Yeah.
I still utilize so much of what I learned from Elle in, anytime I get sick on stage now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a show in high school. Actually, like the whole cast got COVID on the final night. And
Oh,
like it was so bad. It was like we couldn't tell anybody. It was like you finish what you started and you go
oh
home.
no.
Um, but yeah, but that was actually my favorite day that I ever got to perform, surprisingly. I was like, I sound good today. I was like, I was on cloud nine, even though I was very sick.
Girl, sometimes when you're sick, your voice has to go to different pockets that you don't usually use, and you're like, oh shoot, this sounds good too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use that one.
I, that's like I was like because I had to go to school that day and I was like I don't know how I'm gonna get through this today, and then I got to the show and then I was like, oh, I'm not sounding that bad. Then I get home and I'm like, oh, I have COVID. Great.
Great, great. Love that. Feels so good.
So is there like a dream role or a show that you just want to do so bad, or like even like it could even be Broadway?
Oh, that's such a great question. I mean, I've always wanted to do Cynthia Weil and Beautiful ever since my sister did it. I have the younger sister sibling syndrome. Um, Anna and Frozen at any regional theater, and Glinda and Wicked has, it's still on the wish list. Sometimes I take it off because I get insecure about it, but I'm allowing it today. Little things like that. In six, Catherine Howard, was that her?
The
Who's
one
the
in the pink,
Don't Lose Your Head? I think she's green.
green, yeah.
Greenie.
Yeah.
Um, don't lose your head.
My friend played that in high
No
school.
way! Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. I feel like that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny when you become like professional performer, the idea of like a dream role. Oh, sorry. Also, Les Mis, Cosette, Eponine, I don't care, either one. Thenardier could be fun too. Sweeney Todd, Mrs. Lovett one day, please. Um, yeah, when you become a professional performer, it's so funny because you stop dreaming about things because you only think about the things that are available. So it's
Mhm.
like, well, I auditioned for Catch Me If You Can last week, so Brenda right now is my obsession. Or I auditioned for this show, or I know this is coming to this theater that I want to work at, so I'm going to
Mhm.
make Hairspray my next dream role. But
Right.
it's very like circumstantial. So
Hmm.
I'm trying to like pull myself away and be like, hey, you can also still dream about things that might not be a possibility right now. I would love to play L again. Oh God, please let me play L again. It's on my vision board.
Yes, I love that movie so much. So
Love,
good.
love. I used to watch. Have you seen the MTV live capture of the musical?
I've seen bits and pieces. Yeah.
That was my obsession as a kid. We recorded it on like our VCR and kept it forever. Now it's on, I think it's on YouTube. But
Yeah.
yeah, I used to watch that thing all the time. I have that whole thing memorized. I showed up to day one of Summer Stock Legally Blonde and they were like, "Where's your script?" And I was like, "I don't need that. Thank you. Go away."
I love it. Who are like your role models like in this industry? Like it or like even outside of it?
Totally, totally. So some people I've looked up to: Betsy Wolfe, Carrie Butler, Laura Bell Bundy, Kristen Chenoweth, um, Tim Curry, Helena Bonham Carter, Jim Carrey. Yeah, I feel like those are just like, oh, Amy Poehler, um, Leslie Mann, Kristen Bell. These people that I just see so much of, not only myself in, but who I want to become as a performer, especially these zany character comedians. Like, I still have dreams of being, some form of like SNL style comedian in
Yeah.
like, improv or that show Very Important People,
Hmm.
like stuff like that just brings me so much joy. Yeah, I'm obsessed with ballerinas. I couldn't give you a name of a single
Oh yeah.
ballerina, but that is, oh, ballerinas and opera singers.
Hmm.
God, that is what brings me the most joy these days. And in another life, I would beg my parents to be like, "Hey, hey, put me in training for that. I love this." But like as the people who are kind of guiding me towards who I want to be, like those are just to name a few, but
Yeah.
those are my people.
I love like all those people. They're so different, but they're also like so the same and like they're just really good people.
Thank you very much.
What is like next for you? Like what is like maybe your goals or something that you have coming up that you could share?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a production of Bat Boy in New Hampshire. I'm gonna be starting that on March 2nd. I'm gonna go do some rehearsals up in New Hampshire, and that'll be at the end of the month of March. I've been auditioning for some really cool stuff, and I got to final rounds for a couple things, and you gotta wait. You just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, I'm gonna like do the Legally Blonde. I don't know. There's rumors of it going to Broadway. There's rumors of it being a tour. Like, I'm gonna go play Elle Woods in whatever iteration of that is that happens this year. That's like, if I could just paint my own year, there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go do that. Yeah. I travel a lot. I love my partner. He's from Germany. I go visit him, and we might go like do some theater in Germany. That'd be fun.
That's
Who
fun.
knows? Yeah, I auditioned for some stuff. I'm learning German. I'm learning how to sing in German, and
Nice.
like it could be so fun. Like doing European theater. We now have so many friends in the European theater scene, specifically
Yeah.
in Germany. That'd be
Hmm.
such a fun chapter to do that for a part of my life. Uh,
Hmm.
but also just spending more time with family. I've been doing The Office for 2 years, and this Saturday will actually be my last show, and I'm excited to say, I love you and goodbye to that production. And 2 years is a long time to be doing the same show, and I'm excited to just let that part of my life go. Spend some more time with my family. Gonna be a beautiful year. In August, I'm going to the festival. Have you heard of the festival?
No.
The King's Festival. It's very exciting stuff. I actually saw it because Cara Rose DePietro and Tyler Joseph Ellis are going to be there, as well as like Broadway legends. Like you would not believe this lineup. It's called The Festival. It's in Kingston, New York,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a 3-day festival of just crazy theater performances and like events and meet and greets and stuff. 3 days in upstate New York. It's going to be beautiful. I'm really looking forward to that.
That sounds so exciting.
Yeah, man. Oh, It's gonna be a good year. Les Mis is coming back to Radio City Music Hall in concert. What could go wrong? What could be wrong about this year? Nothing.
So as we near like the end of the episode, lots of my audience members, they know what questions coming next. Do you have like any advice for people that are going into your field or just like anything in general, like that they're passionate about? Like, what kind of advice would you give?
Yeah, I keep coming back to this mantra, but it's give yourself permission to dream. And
Mhm,
it sounds so corny every time I say it out loud, but I don't know how to say it any more poetically. It's just allow yourself to do it
mhm,
because nobody's going to have the same dream as you. And I think when you're in an industry, you get caught up in thinking that everybody is in this industry and everybody thinks the same way and has the same knowledge and has the same dream.
mhm.
Let me tell you, everybody is in a different world. It's just because you get kind of sucked up into it.
Yeah.
So make sure you have friends and people in your lives that are outside of the industry who can kind of ground you a little bit to remind you that what you're doing is really cool and fun and beautiful.
Mhm,
I think we get really caught up in the machine of it all and the fight. It's like scrappy to do
mhm.
all these auditions and like fight for your right to be in a small room with four people
Yeah.
and beg for their like choice, like for you to be their choice.
Mhm.
It's a really weird concept.
Yeah.
And it really tests the psyche. But just remember, you're not alone. I also heard a quote the other day, and I took a screenshot of it. Let me see if I can find it, because it had me do that moment where you're just like, oh, I needed that. Oh, it was from a TikToker named Oliver Foyt,
Hmm.
and he said, if you think it's hard, it matters. Like if something seems like a challenge, that means it matters.
Mhm.
So why would people work hard towards something if it didn't matter? The
Yeah.
reason that you don't book every audition is because what the heck would be the point if
Mhm.
every single job you booked? Why would you?
Yeah.
No, it's
Mm.
hard and it matters to you. And that's kind of why. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah, totally.
Like, why do you think so many people, when they make those announcement posts saying, like, I'm so excited to say that I'm making my Broadway debut, there's a reason that people freak out. It's because they know how hard that was.
Yeah,
It doesn't just get handed to you.
exactly. Yeah.
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 So don't worry. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And if it is a challenge, it matters. Ah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be challenged. You have your mind, your body, me and my dressing room roommate all the time. We have check-ins where like if we're having a really tough day,
Yeah.
maybe the audience isn't laughing or clapping,
Mhm.
maybe, I don't know, something weird happened backstage where like we're a little thrown off. We kind of have like a moment of, "Hey, hey, we are not surgeons. We are not telling a family today that they lost a loved one. We
Yep.
have our health. We have our bodies. We have our minds. So much of the population on this earth cannot say that. So
Yeah.
like remember to check in with yourself every once in a while because this industry will definitely kind of cloud you a little. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember what matters, The people in your life and your life
Hmm.
matter before your career. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of like
No,
good
I love that.
stuff.
No, it's like that was that oh, that was so good.
Thank you.
Where can people follow you? Like to stay up
Oh,
to date.
love. I have a really crummy website that I built on Wix. It's kaylasophiemoore.com. Feel free to go check out that dumpster fire. I'm on Instagram at Kayla ___ more because there's so many of us. Same on TikTok. Facebook I think it's just Kayla Moore. And YouTube is Kayla Sophie Moore because there were too many Kaylas that I couldn't even get the underscore on YouTube. Yay! I'm also the owner of Theater Kids Shop.
Oh,
Um,
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's a fun little merchandise shop for funny little theater kid merch.
Oh,
I got a whole bunch of fun stuff coming out this year, and I've done a couple of giveaways with different companies. That's all designed by me, run by me. Yeah,
wow.
just like one of my little side hustles. I love my little shop.
Are there like any final words that like you want to say we didn't get to?
Oh my God. It's just, I wish I could meet more people. Like, there's so many people who reach out on these videos. They comment, they message me. Like, I am overwhelmed with the amount of love and support and questions that I get all the time. And I just wish I could put you all in a room and meet you all in person and learn about your lives and talk to you about all of these things that you message me about. Um, Sometimes I'm like, I cannot be your guiding light. I wish I had your answers. I wish I could give you advice on, you know, some of these things that you're asking, and I wish I could find the resource for you. Um, a part of me is like, I wish I had like a school or something where I could talk to you all about this stuff. So just know I'm working on something like that. But in the meantime, please continue to comment and message, and I will, as I can, I will get back to you when I can, and if I feel like I can be of assistance to you. But know you have it in you, and nobody can create like this guiding light that we think some like mentor or teacher is going to be able to give us. I think we're looking for permission or validation from an external source to say keep going, and it's never going to do what it would do if it came from you.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of soul searching and a lot of self love. Work on that first and foremost.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. You had wonderful questions too.
Thanks. I tried.
Absolutely. Girl, you did great. This was wonderful. You're a wonderful interviewer, and I can't wait to keep up with this.
Well, thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening and watching to My World with Stories podcast. Be sure to subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. To stay up to date, you can follow My World with Stories podcast on both Facebook and Instagram at My World with Stories podcast. Make sure to give this podcast a like for future episodes coming your way. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will see you guys next time.